What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to The Informed Trader. My name is Chris. Every day on this channel, we analyze the stock market, looking for that next ticker symbol to potentially add to your watch list or invest in. I'm not a professional. This is for entertainment purposes only. I just want to say thanks so much for all the recent support on the channel with all the likes and the subs. If we could get this up to 5% next week, I'd really appreciate it. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and leave a sub. It really helps me out, helps us to grow here. Just become part of the community. All right, so let's get into what we're talking about today. Workhorse. All right, Workhorse Group is a stock that has had a lot of buzz around it in recent days. This is an EV company, obviously working on the manufacturing of electric vehicles. And if we were to look on the 1-month chart, you would see that it's gone down by about 60%. And the hype around that was the USPS contract. As we notice here, Workhorse Group drops nearly 50% after EV company is passed over for USPS contract. This was a multi-billion-dollar contract, 10 years, and it was awarded to Oshkosh Defense. The initial investment will be $482 million. The U.S. Postal Service contract award decision was drawn out over several years after a series of delays. The contract was seen by the street as an upside catalyst for pre-revenue Workhorse Group. Now, this is why that fall through with the contract was such a big deal in this next paragraph. In recent note to clients, BTIG said that Workhorse securing a portion of the USPS contract was part of the firm's base case scenario. Despite the stock almost getting cut in half on Tuesday, shares are still up 347% over the last year. But notice here, Workhorse makes electric vehicles focused on last mile delivery. The company currently has partnerships with UPS and FedEx Express, among others. So obviously a big part of the hype with this stock was the potential on getting this multi-billion-dollar 10-year contract, all right? It was their goal of putting themselves on the map, so to speak. Now, that's not saying that they didn't do anything before that. As we read in that article, they do have UPS contracts and FedEx Express partnerships. So they're not irrelevant, all right? It's just that they had a real big letdown with this contract, which they assumed they were going to get. Now, Workhorse lawyers up in mail truck contract dispute with Postal Service. It says here that Workhorse expects a prolonged process to alter the U.S. Postal Service decision to award next-generation mail truck business to defense contractor Oshkosh Truck Corporation. All right, this deal came down to 3 finalists, of which Workhorse was the only battery electric-powered vehicle out of the 3 competitors. And that was consistent with President Joe Biden's executive order to make all 645,000 federal fleet vehicles zero-emission EVs. We will follow the proper due course procedures as defined by the USPS, and will also look to other options available to us. Workhorse lost its single biggest chance to gain scale in the EV market. So obviously, with lawyers involved, there's a lot of conspiracies flying around as to what is actually going on. Oshkosh has never even produced an electric vehicle yet. Regardless of whether they win this contract or not, Workhorse Group shouldn't be defined just by a single contract, right? Obviously, they were very disappointed. Investors were disappointed, but the stock also got kind of an unrealistic pump, just like a lot of EV stocks do in the last month, which is why we got a drastic sell-off as well. Artificial prices can do that, and it has settled down between $13 and $15 range consistently over the last couple days, and people really don't know what to do with this stock now. But a concept I want you to remember in the stock market is that when a stock gets beat down, and it's not like the company direction changed, it's not like what they do and what they produce completely changed. I mean, the company's still there. They're still going to be producing vehicles. They're still servicing contracts with other customers. If we look down here at Ark Invest's history with this stock, we'll notice that they bought 153,000 shares in December, and then they sold off the last week of January a bunch of shares. Coming into the last 2 weeks, we noticed that they have bought back all the shares that they sold plus more, including yesterday, March 4th, they bought 497,000 shares, and that puts them at 3.6 million shares at an average cost of $17.14. What Cathie is very well known for, Cathie Wood, is she'll invest in companies that are beat down, are undervalued, okay? And we are in a big market sell-off. We're not sure if it's a correction or crash yet. There's a lot of fear and anxiety in the air. People are trying to allocate their money into companies that are strong conviction companies they know that are going to be performers no matter what market's coming. And I just think it's interesting that one of her biggest buys share-wise yesterday, during the times that the market is in right now, was Workhorse Group. And I'm not saying that every purchase that Ark makes is gold, and obviously they've done really well in the last year. But what I do encourage you to do is take a look at the company, go into the details, look at what they're producing, look at what they've promised and what they have shown they're capable of so far. And what this sell-off has actually allowed a lot of people to do is get in at a low price while it's undervalued. You know, the tendency in human nature is to get on board when something's already pumping, right? And that causes a lot of people to miss out on profits they could have had and even lose by buying at the top here. So with all that being said, I don't have any positions in Workhorse yet. Definitely add this to your watch list as an EV company. Most EV companies have a lot to prove yet, but Workhorse Group is not just a throwaway company. I think they're going to be here for a while, and I bet you in a couple months we're going to be surprised at what they decided to do going forward, and they're going to have some positive reports, which is going to result in a turnaround. And I think a lot of people are going to wish they would have got in at the prices that it is today. I mean, the whole stock market, if you're not getting in at some of these prices, then you're missing out because just about everything is on sale, right? With that being said, I hope this was helpful, maybe give you some insight onto what's going on with the company and the fall through of the contract and what Ark Invest Cathie Wood is doing with the stock. They're obviously a little bullish on it and trying to get in and average their costs down. They didn't sell off. They bought when others were fearful, okay? So thanks for stopping by the channel. Like I said, if you're new, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe for daily updates so you don't miss a thing. You're on the Informed Trader. I'll catch you in the next video.